Alright, so here we are at the 10th and final video for the free traffic strategy presentation. The last topic is offline networking. So we're not necessarily going to be recommending that you're generating traffic only online. There's lots of people who you can meet in the real world and actually send them to your websites and to your different blogs or whatever it is you're promoting. Um, and it's important to know this stuff because, especially if you're doing this from a business perspective, it's good to get well-rounded. And if obviously being online is the most effective and efficient way of doing it, but doesn't mean you don't build relationships offline. In fact, this is a great step to perform. Some of my best clients have been people I've met in the offline networking space, and so they may not have driven huge traffic to my site, but they became good clients, and that's really important. So get to know local business people. There's a number of different ways you can do this. Um, just going to networking events in your area is one way of doing it, or going to a seminar or a trade show in the area and shaking hands or handing out business cards. I personally don't even use business cards anymore. I just try to get to know people. I'm going to give you an example of how I meet the local people in my town. It's a little bit different. I haven't really seen anybody else doing this yet, but it's been good for me getting my name out as somebody who does, who's in the internet marketing space like I am, and it's bringing me a pretty good stream of business because I'm getting my name out there through this offline networking strategy, which I'll show you. Um, Another thing to do from an offline networking perspective is to give talks, either at service clubs or different organizations. They usually don't have a budget to pay a speaker, but that's okay because it's a chance for free exposure and for you to talk about something you're good at. So I'm assuming that if you have a website or you have some kind of product, that you can at least speak to it. And if you can't, well, this strategy may not work for you, but in most cases, if you're really serious about this, then you're gonna need to learn how to speak. And don't overthink it. Just try getting involved with things like Toastmasters, or just get a group of friends together and work on delivering public presentations, or even do what I'm doing right now and practice doing presentations that you can publish on YouTube. And then what you can do, the way I've done this is I've spoken at different clubs like the Rotary Club and the Optimists and all different kinds of clubs, where I gave a talk on a particular topic and I would leave like a single handout with a bunch of good valuable tips, and then I would leave a message saying go to my website for your free something, or email me at this address for a free something else. And the address would be actually my autoresponder, so they'd add themselves to my list, and then I'd send them something for free. So it was a really good way of getting my name out there. And anybody I've ever spoken to in those kind of settings, when I run into them again at other events, they always remember me as the guy who did a talk on whatever. I've done talks on personal development, kind of coaching stuff, and I've also done talks on online marketing stuff. So people kind of know me for those two things, which is great. Another thing that works well for me is writing a column in local papers or local publications. It doesn't have to be anything huge. I have a column in a local paper that gets distributed to about 30,000 homes, which is a decent number. And I use that column to write more personal growth style articles, and then I drive traffic to the website I was showing you with my coaching stuff on it. And again, it goes to local people. So when you know, I get to build a bit of a profile there. I write the article, and then when the people check me out online, I do video blogging. So again, it's good branding for me. Um, and the column itself gets read by there's a lot of people in local towns or even in big cities that aren't on the internet as often as you and I. And so the best way for you to get a hold of these people is to go and write content where they go. And that's physical papers. Some of these people might be business owners who could be a really good client for you. So just because you're online and trying to drive traffic doesn't mean you don't go offline and find people who could potentially use whatever it is you do. Uh, Creating an interview portal. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about in number one. The strategy that I use to network with local business people is I have a local blog that I do interviews on, and I basically interview all the different business people in my town. I give them a 5 or 7 minute interview on my blog, a chance to talk about themselves, not just their business, but themselves in general, and then I promote that blog to all the other business people through Facebook and through different channels in my town. It works out great for the people I'm interviewing because they get their face on the website. It works out great for me because every single interview is me on video getting my name out there. So over time, more and more people in my town of about 30,000 people are going to get to know me. And it won't take me very long to be known throughout the business community doing a blog like that, especially if I'm on video all the time. So I'll show you a quick demo in a second what that site looks like. Uh, and then a really old school tactic that I've seen people doing in town, and if they're doing it, I'm guessing it's working. I haven't tried it yet, but you could put up flyers with just a link to your website. um, you know, People look at those flyers on those cork boards and at different like maybe at a chiropractor's office or something like that. It doesn't hurt to at least have some of them out there. Although I kind of like to be paperless. If you want to try it out, I'm sure you'll get a little bit of traffic. It's definitely worth trying if you live in the kind of community where people do pick up these things and read them. A flyer is pretty dirt cheap to print, especially if you do it on like on a black and white type of setting. So with that said, use offline networking to your advantage wherever possible. It will come down to a matter of personal taste, but all these things are definitely worth a shot if you haven't tried them before. And it'll help you expand your network anyways. So whether it drives traffic to your site or not, the overall purpose will help your business in the end. So let me flip over and give you a demo of how I actually use that blog, the interview blog, to drive traffic or to build a name for myself at least. So here's the blog I was talking about, or it's called Orangeville Blog. The town I live in is called Orangeville, and we try to make it a fairly nice, clean-looking site. And what you can see here, right now, I'm actually promoting. I'm doing a list building exercise where we're giving away a search engine optimization report. But in general, I like to promote myself or some of my other products. So we're testing different things right now. But you can see I just sit down with people and interview them. So I'll just give you a quick peek. Pretty simple stuff. So in that case, I just sat down with a massage therapist. Another one, I sat down with a real estate or a realtor. I sat down with a fitness guy and he showed me some exercises. Try to make it fun, and I put all the different interviews, the recent interviews at the bottom. And there's a picture of me and my business partner that we're promoting some programs together here through this site. Um, we have most popular posts that get commented on, so we encourage people to comment, and that drives traffic in itself. And you can see right here that I'm also promoting my success coaching website. I promote that pretty much everywhere, but why not? If I'm publishing content online, every single one of these blog posts that I put out there, they share it with their friends. Like I interviewed Maria here, she shared it with a bunch of her friends, and that worked out great for me because uh, they get to see this blog that I've created. So you could do something like this yourself and just get to know all the different people in the business people in your neighborhood or your community, or if you live in a small enough town, meet them all. And I live in a small enough town that this will eventually be seen by probably all the business people here, which is exactly what I'm going for. I want them thinking about me when it comes to do anything with online marketing. So this is a great way for me to brand myself. So that gives you the final picture here of your 10th strategy. I hope you've enjoyed this video series, and I wish you the best of luck driving all kinds of free traffic to your websites. Take care.